What are your dreams? What are your wants? Do you want to grow your business? Help you crush your goals personally, professionally, and financially? Just join the conversation. What's up, fam? 101 as we talk. You're probably wondering why I'm in crumble cookie gear, right? Because I just opened up a crumble cookie franchise. A little hard if you love cookies. I mean, come on, right? Who doesn't love cookies? So actually, we're in training this week. Hey, guys, welcome to the call. Welcome, everybody, to the call. Newcomers, those watching online, I just want to say thank you so much for joining the call. If you're going to watch the recording, hey, much love. Thank you for watching the recording. But these calls, like I said, they're defined. They're helping you to define the game you want to play in the life and how you truly want to get started doing it, right? My intention, as always, in every single call is to help you in any way, showing you the tricks and the little tactics that I do every single day to truly try to crush the dreams that I set forward, not only for myself, but for my family. But so my hope is that with the takeaway of this whole thing is you do take some of the tips and tricks and you start implementing them in the thing called your life, like implement them in the game of you. You know, for those that you don't know me, like I said, I'm Dr. Bobby Grassi, born and raised in Flint, Michigan, single mom raising 3 kids. You probably know now I have a crumble cookie franchise, right? I got, not only am I a dentist, an entrepreneur, I'm a Great Lakes Dental Lab. I own a dental lab for outside dentists. I'm a financial guy, so I'm a life coach, I guess you could say. So I just try to always figure out how to create more. And I'm hoping with these calls and what we do, I really hope that I at least push you to how to get more in your life, to become the best version of yourself. And that's kind of like my takeaway. You know, we're growing with Grassi together. It is called Growing the Grassi, but I can't do anything without you guys sharing it. So just from the bottom of my heart, if I could give you a heart, I'm going to give a heart to all you guys. And thank you for staying on these calls and always showing up every week and doing the recordings. But this week we're talking about kind of like, how do you take a step in the right direction, you know? And so have you ever watched a baby take their first steps? Like it's quite you know, for those that have kids, it's kind of like a cool, quite like a sight to see, right? The baby may wobble back and forth and he or she tries to stand upright and maintain their balance. And then, you know, what do we are as parents? We're like trying to coax them along, like, come on, little Johnny, come on, Susie, hoping to God we coach them to take their first step, right? And we're kind of like their cheerleaders, and the child kind of always looks at you with that little gaze intently at the parent, like taking their first tentative step, like, oh my goodness, should I do this? And then all of a sudden they take another step, and then they take another step, right? And then the child kind of like precariously spans and divides between self and parent. Like, what do I do? Do I do this on my own? Do I ask my parent for help? Like, what do I do? Right. And for other children, only one step is taken before falling or the diapers hit the floor. Thank God for diapers if kids have ever taken their first step, because it's kind of like a padding. I don't know about you guys sometimes. I wish I had a diaper when I walk because I'm pretty clumsy. But even this minimal success is always followed by cheers. Like, it's followed by cheers from the parent, and everyone's going, yeah, going crazy because the baby takes the first step, and all of a sudden you see that smile from that baby, and they're just so proud of themselves. But before long, that children masters the art of walking, right? And then the parents face this new challenge. Ready? What's the new challenge, you think? How to keep the child walking in the right direction. Right? So we coach everybody to take their first step, right? We coach them all the time to give them the encouragement. And when I think about that little story, and when I look back of teaching a child how to walk, or, you know, just the proud moment of how we coach our kids. And whether it's your kid, but let's just use kids. You're coaching our kids every day to take that first step. And when they do that first step, we're clapping. But the hardest part as a parent is after they take that first step, right? After they kind of step in the right direction. The most fear a parent ever has is my kid walking in the right direction? If your parents are there, just with a thumbs up, have you ever had that feeling? And if you're not a parent, can you at least relate to that feeling just with a thumbs up? I mean, there is nothing more stressful as a parent is my child now stepping in the right direction? Are they moving down the right path? You know, because as a parent, I don't know about as my kids, I always want them to be better than I am, right? I always want to have them reach the utmost success. And but another thing, like, you know, so in a classic book, you know, Alice's Adventure in Wonderland, right? Alice comes to the crossroad when the Cheshire cat appears. And if you love cats, just thumbs up, love cats. But and she asks him, hey, would you tell me, please, which way I have to go from here? This is a cool little message. And if you think about it, then the cat answers, well, it depends a good deal on where you want to get to. And Alice replies, well, I don't much care. where I go. And which the cat then says, ready? Well, then it doesn't matter where you go. Now, what I love about that story is like, if you don't even know what direction you want to walk in, then where does it matter where you go? And it doesn't, because you must need to know, must have a plan. You must know exactly before you take that step, what does it look like? Like, what is your journey or path going to look like? Where do you want it to go? And I liken it no different than if you're putting a GPS coordinate in a car. Like, you first got to tell the car where you want it to go, right? You first got to say, hey, I want it to go here. But so many times in life, we don't plan what is our end goal? Where are we trying to accomplish? Because if you know where you're trying to accomplish, then maybe, just maybe, you know what step to take, or at least a step in the right direction. So fortunately, we don't have to rely on that dang felines to figure out what's life all about. We know that we want to live our life according to what I'm going to say is the Father in heaven again one day. And we have something that tells us how to get there. We always have this thing that in scriptures, for example, as you take a look, in Moroni chapter 10, verse 32, we're told to come unto Christ and be perfected in him and deny yourselves of all ungodliness. So to me, becoming perfect in Christ may seem a little daunting, right? But if you really think of the result of small daily choices rather than one big action you take, and there's simply an activity to help you and your family see just how it happens on your pathway to perfection, a perfect object lesson for family is a home evening, right? So to me, like, don't worry about trying to master the Christ ungodliness. Think about where you want to go. Think about the direction you want to go, and just take a baby step every single day to get there, because it's a long journey. Like, I'll be honest with you, not one of us are going to be as godly as Christ is. It's not going to happen. But if we live according to that, if we take steps every day to be like that, or if we're taking steps every day to be the best version of ourselves, would you agree then we're living as close to Christ as we can, or at least we're honoring Christ? Just with a thumbs up. And if you're not spiritual, will you agree that even if you're taking a step in the right direction to honor the life or legacy that you want to live every single day, if you're taking that and you're being genuine and you're committed and you're always taking a step to get you closer to something, which is your life end goal versus a further away, can we at least agree that that is a life according to that you want to live? Thumbs up. Perfect. So sometimes the steps, just the smallest step in the right direction, right? There's a beautiful quote by Naeem Callaway about starting small and building your plans to a dream. Most times our desires or goals manifest as large, overwhelming challenges. And we've all been there. Like, the reason why some people don't stop or start is because they just had this dream. It just becomes too daunting. That's why I talked about in the past, if you can just hit a single every day, if you can just take a step every day, right? So the trick is, however, is not trying to do everything all at once. Like, don't try to master everything at once. And that's, like, when they say, how do you run 5 businesses? I don't focus on every 5 business every single second of the day. I just hit little steps, and how do I knock down the one thing, right? And it's taking that small, measurable, and continuous improvements every single day is what's going to get you to your end goal. And the main point is to ensure that you're constantly progressing. You're just moving. Like, even if you're working out, you're not trying to lose the 20 pounds in one day. You're trying to have little baby steps to get you that 20 pounds. So growth occurs. Understand what I'm telling you. Like, one of the significant needs of humans is growth. Growth occurs in stages. And that's why sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest. Sometimes, guys, just with the thumbs up, sometimes it's just hard to start. Would you agree with that? Sometimes people just don't know, hey man, what do I even do? You know what I'll tell everybody? Just start moving. The biggest form of depression comes from the people that don't move. The biggest form of anxiety comes when you don't even try. I mean, what is the worst thing that happens? I'm wearing, forget about the hair, but what's the worst thing that happens if you take a step in a direction that you think you should go, but it doesn't work out? So what? Don't go in that direction the next time. See, that's the difference between 1%ers and the 99 people that want to play on the bench, right? They don't even want to take the step. I mean, they will blame other people for circumstances in their life, but they're not even willing to take that step. They say they want something so bad, but they're not willing to take that step. So what it means by taking a step in the right direction, I don't know what direction you want to go in, but if you know what direction you want to go in, you've got to take a step towards that. And often the most common reason for us not taking action is the problem appears to be too big or overwhelming. And it's self-created, you know that, right? We have gatekeepers that will kind of say it's overwhelming. There'll be a gatekeeper of fear or judgment or ego or whatever it is. And we have these voices in our head trying to tell us every day that, no, don't do that. No, don't do that. I mean, if I tell you my story, people always say to me, how do you have all this time? How do you do all this stuff? And guys, there's times it's terrible. I'm going to tell you today alone, I started my day at 6 a.m. and I'm not going to be done till probably after 11 p.m. And the difference is when you're committed to what you want, when you're committed to the legacy that you want, and when you're committed to whatever it is you're committed to, there is no such thing as time. Commitment doesn't know time, it makes time. There is no such thing as a lack of energy or passion. It doesn't exist because you're living your calling. So my calling or my purpose is to make the greatest impact in this world. It doesn't mean just by using my voice. Sometimes it's my energy. Sometimes it's my time. Sometimes it's whatever it is. Because at the end of the day, my payday at the end of the day, or my payday at the end of the month, or my payday at the end of the year is I'm going to make a great impact somehow. And if it's on this call, like I'm off all week in the dental office, I'm not here. I'm actually training 70 employees right now in Crumble Cookie. And my staff members saw me roll into my dental office today, and I'm just going to tell you this. They were shocked I'm here. And in fairness, they shouldn't be shocked because I made a commitment every single Tuesday at 1 p.m. to show up for Growing with Grassi calls. And that's what I'm doing. So this is very similar. When you procrastinate, when you don't do things, when you don't make your commitments, you're not taking that step. So that's one. And then similar time when we procrastinate in the hope of things become easier later. That is not true. We associate pain with taking action straight away, even though we know that something must be done about it, right? We can't expect things to automatically sort themselves out. Like every time we demand everything that demands effort anytime, the meaning is sometimes it's a small step in that right direction. It is simply about taking small actions. You cannot solve all your problems at once. You can't. And I think that's what happens too sometimes is when we talk about problems and people hit a hiccup, they're trying to solve everything. And then guys, I don't know if you've ever been there. I know I go, this is probably one of my weaknesses is I try to fix everything all at once. Just with a thumbs up, if you've ever tried to, like you got going in the right direction, somebody derails you and all of a sudden you get hit with all these problems and like you feel overwhelmed and all of a sudden the anxiety builds up. Have you ever been there? Yeah, you know how you break out of that? Break it down. Break it down. Take your content list that gets you overwhelmed and just start knocking them off the box one at a time. And just focus on that. Take little small changes will get you closer to your end goal. Get rid of those distractions, right? Even if it's one at a time. You know, I was talking about when I was cleaning out my garage the other day, the message it taught me is we hold on to so much stuff or so many excuses not to be the best version of ourselves, and we take steps in the wrong direction. Like we are living so far in the past that we are kind of going backwards. Sometimes I feel like sometimes I walk backwards in life versus forward. And I heard Denzel Washington one time say, always fall forward, never fall back. And I think what that means to me is like, because if you fall forward, you're actually taking a step forward. You understand that? You're taking a step in the positive direction, not the negative. When you fall back, you're falling backwards, you're going negative. And sometimes life and challenges can be overwhelming, but I'll just tell you, let's just cut them down one at a time. Like I had 6 different things that crumble when I'm trying to open it that hit me all at once. And you know what I could do? I could let that overwhelm me and become very, very anxious. Or I could say, okay, what can I control right now? Like, what can I do today to get me one step closer to it? And sometimes you do go backwards. But if you knock down those anxieties one by one, you're going to get closer, right? And so no matter, you know, how small it is, always take those small steps. The most important part of taking the steps is just get the result. Your heart feels stronger for it, right? Then things are having you get reasons why you can make it work instead of not making it work. But you cannot hide under these reasons. You can't say, oh my God, I can't do that. You can't hide under these reasons. You need to break your task down into simple steps in order to maintain them. Here's how. Break down your tasks and goals into key milestones. These goals should be smart and they should be reasonable, right? Don't try to do everything all at once. Don't try to accomplish everything all at once. Identify those small wins. Really give yourself that credit when you knock down that task that you're doing. When you get rid of that anxiety moment, give yourself, hey man, I won today, right? Like you're gonna laugh. I guess I'm talking a lot about crumble cookie because I'm learning how to make cookies. I know this is funny. A dentist who makes cookies. Maybe it's a brilliant business mind if you ever thought about it, because I can give them cavities at the same time as I can. Anyway, I digress. Little joke there, a little dental humor, but it can be daunting. And like, there's a lot of things for me to learn. And even in a business, there's a lot of things to learn as a parent. There's a lot of things to learn when your child does that first walk. There's a lot of things to learn even in relationships. But what we don't do well enough is we don't just take one thing at a time and celebrate that win. As a matter of fact, that might be one of my weaknesses. I feel like, it's just a small win. but really it's incremental, not monumental. I think Ken Joslin, one of my friends, that's his coin. He phrases it. Mine's commitment doesn't know time, it makes time. But it's the incremental wins, these little wins every single day, that's going to get you closer to your end goal. It's going to get you the ability and the confidence to take the step in the right direction. It's going to give you all these things, you know, to work out. And we can't always expect things to automatically sort themselves out. Like, it's going to take us to do that. Everything demands effort and time. The meaning of sometimes is the small step in the right direction. Like we talk about, simply just taking that small action. Like, what do you got to do? Like, what do I got to do to win the day? Chandel, I mean, you can't respond. Obviously, you're at work and you're at lunch, but just what do you got to do every day? What do you got to do to win the day? Like, what do you consider winning the day? If you're getting closer to what your end goal is versus you're further away, then you've won the day. Connor, you might be seeing a patient, you might have a bad patient. You know, what is considered winning the day? You got to put parameters in there. What is the results? What's your demands? What are you wanting? Like, to me, in business, obviously we'll go by net sales. Let's just say it the way it is, right? If McDonald's, they want to sell as much cheeseburgers, that's how they know if they win the day. I don't know. But you got to put that measurable. How do you know if you win the day? And you got to celebrate that win. Because these small changes every single day, the small changes giving you a step in the right direction is truly what's going to catapult you. It's truly what's going to give you that win. But taking the step in the right direction, you first need to know what you need to do. You need to know where you want to go. You need to go, okay, what is my accomplishing of my goal? What am I looking to accomplish? What is my plan? What is my action? What are the things I have to do? See, we talked about before the difference of how to stay organized, or what is even in calendars or even in your planners. I know we don't use these planners a lot, but break down these goals and tasks, right? Try to do something every single day just to get you closer to that end product. Try to do something every single day to get you closer to. Plan out your journey. Plan out your final goal, right? The final goal will be large and overwhelming, but I promise you, it cannot stop you from taking your first step. Think about a child who's never walked. They see people every single day walking. They emulate them who's walking. They speak in a way that somebody speaks. We don't know dialects and languages. We don't know accents. It's learned. All this is a learned behavior. So even if you don't know what step to take, follow people that have taken a step that you want to go to. Emulate people that you respect. Try to be the version of them that you see in yourself. You might not know the plan. You might not know where to go, but other people have paved the path for you. That's how a child learns to walk. You're a parent who knows how to walk. You're a sibling who knows how to walk. I don't know, I've seen younger siblings that compete with the older siblings, and all of a sudden, it's maybe because I'm the youngest, we're the better athletes. We're the most handsome for sure. I mean, by far, I'm the best looking sibling in my family. There's not even a question. That's a joke, just a thumbs up. I mean, Chandel's a middle child. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she thinks she's the prettiest. I'm not sure. I know. Linda, you know, she's got a brother. Like, I know she's got a brother. I mean, I bet you she's the best looking sister in the whole family. I promise you, right? I promise you. My point is you learn from other people. And that's what these calls are about. We're learning through each other. We're learning what to do. We're learning how to take steps in the right direction. We're following other people. You don't have to master it. That's what you have to hear. You don't have to master it. You got to take a step. Guy, you got to take a step of what it is that truly lights you up. You know, a purpose is something that you see in the future, as Richie Dolan says. A purpose is something that you're trying to fulfill in the future, but your calling is what wakes you up every day. Thumbs up if you understand that. My purpose is to make the greatest impact in this world. My calling, it reminds me every single day that that's what I want to go get. My calling is what I do every day, what I cause and create every day. Sometimes your purpose calls and creates you without a question. As a matter of fact, like Richie just talked about today, but I have a coach, guys, so I don't learn all this stuff on my own. I have a coach that mentors me as well. And he talks about your purpose can also guide your calling. Ready? If I say we're going to go on vacation in 4 weeks, all right, my purpose is to go on. I'm already seeing the future. Guess what your calling is? You're getting ready for that vacation. Every single day up to that, you're getting ready for that vacation. So your calling is leading you to that purpose. They help each other out. It's the yin and the yang, right? So if your purpose is to do whatever it is, what step are you taking every single day to fulfill that purpose? What calling do you have within you that lights you up every day, that does not require any money, that does not require any strength? It just lights you up. See, my calling is to make the greatest impact in this world. And that's why there is no such thing as sleep if I don't have it. I don't sleep. There is no such thing as not making stuff happen, because I'm supposed to make the greatest impact in this world. I didn't say an impact. I said the greatest impact. That means I got to compete with a lot of people. But the greatest impact, how? Not just in my life, in your life, guy, in Connor's life, in Muriel's life, in Chandel's life, in Robert's life, and everybody else that's listening to this recording that's on this call. That's my calling. That's my purpose. So life has to be big. Now that's daunting. And you might say, how do you do it every day? Take one step. Just take one step. If I get one step closer to that, I might never accomplish that. But if I get one step closer, I'm that much closer to living the legacy I've always desired. You guys understand that? Don't make this so hard. Don't make this so daunting. Don't make it so overwhelming. Just take a step to you. What lights you up? What gets you moving? What excites you? Is it that child taking that first step? I'm your cheerleader right now. I'm asking you right now in this camera to take your first step in something you want to go get. I'm going to be cheering you on. I'm going to be clapping for you. Because when you live the legacy in life you've always dreamt of living, you're going to bless many, many souls. I don't think all of you on this call realize the impact you have. I don't think you realize the power within you that's just laying dormant. Maybe you need that coach. Maybe you need a swift kick in the butt. Maybe you need to be motivated by me. I don't know. But motivation is temporary. What's going to get you going is write in your planner every single day. Really reflect what it is you want. Where do you want to go? What is the game plan of life that you want to set? And then jot that down and just take a step in that direction. Realize what are you committed to versus your interest. Please tell me, what is it that you're committed to or you just have an interest in? Where is it that you want to go? What is it that you want to do? What is the plan? Can you guys please put that or email me the info@thedentistceo.com? And if you don't know the link, we'll put it in there. Please connect with me at the info@thedentistceo.com. And guys, little shorter call today. I understand that, but I'm committed to you. Tell me, was this call of value to you? I mean, do these even make a difference in your life? Please tell me in the crumble cookie logo, that's at least cool, right? So please tell me, like, coming out with a different uniform and not just a dental uniform, that was kind of dope. I mean, I think it was kind of cool. Okay. So come next week, guys. Come next week, my friends, my dear friends, and everybody that's on this call. We are going to talk about how to really get that game plan. I mean, we talked about today taking the step in the right direction. We talked about the day of how to try to cause and create the life you want and what your purpose is and what your calling is. I know I threw a lot at you, but the biggest takeaway from this whole thing, if I could wrap it with a little crumble cookie bow, if you will, is find out what lights you up. What is your overall purpose? Like, write that down, maybe. Just write that down. What is it that I want to accomplish? Let's just take it in baby steps. What is it that I want to accomplish in the next month? Okay, this isn't part of, what do I want to accomplish in the next month? Okay, so what step can I do today to get me closer to versus further away? And remember, when you fall back, don't worry about it. But when you take that step every single day and you get that little win every single day, congratulate yourself. Say, you know what, I did it today. And even if you don't win today, don't worry about it. Just get back on the horse. If your child fell when it was walking, all the way back to the beginning, we talk about child taking their first steps. Could you imagine what would happen if the child fell one time and never tried to walk again? Why do you stop on you? Why do you stop walking? Because you had a setback? Because you didn't have a diaper on when you fell on your butt? Because you're any different than anybody else in this world? I hope I'm touching your soul and talking directly to you. I'm going to ask you one question. You're just a child in what you're wanting to start. I'm your cheerleader. There's a lot of people that are going to clap for you, I promise you. And there's a lot of people that won't clap for you. But listen to the people that clap for you. Listen to the people that truly want the best for you. Listen to the people that want to allow you to crush your dreams. And when you finally get that path and you start walking the direction you think you need to go to, just keep walking and keep getting better and better. And eventually you're going to run. Guys, from the bottom of my heart, you have no idea, like I say to you all the time, the impact you have on me. You have no idea how blessed I am to share a little bit of information I have to hopefully make your life better. I appreciate you. I love you. and I'm fully committed to you. Let's go crush this thing we call life. God bless you all. We'll talk soon.